You won't believe what happened to this 83-year-old top doctor, a respected gynecologist, a hospital director, found dead just hours after a private dinner with a woman nearly 40 years younger than him.
He passed on yesterday, and let me tell you this, you cannot convince anyone in this Republic of Kenya that this regime is not responsible for the death of this doctor.
And what investigators discovered next is going to shock you. Dr. Job Obwaka collapsed suddenly after taking just 2 sips of water. Minutes later, he was struggling to breathe, and by 7 p.m., he was pronounced dead on arrival.
Medic Dr. Job Obwaka has died. He was pronounced dead on arrival at the Nairobi Hospital. According to his family, Dr. Obwaka passed away this evening after being rushed to the facility unconscious.
But that is not all, because the woman who was last seen with him, she wasn't just a business associate. In court, she revealed they had been in a romantic relationship since 2015. Now, detectives are calling this a possible poisoning case. Her house sealed as a crime scene, phone seized, his black Mercedes impounded, homicide detectives taking over, and here is where it gets even more darker. This death happened just weeks after the doctor collapsed in court during a heated legal battle that had already put him under national scrutiny. Was this natural? Was it pressure? Or was it something far more sinister served at that final meal of rice and meat? A legendary doctor, a secret romance, a mysterious collapse, and a glass of water that may hold the answers to everything.
Did not have any strength in me to make this video yesterday. Do you remember this doctor, Dr. Job Obwaka? He was unlawfully abducted and arrested because of this whole patronage of the Nairobi Hospital, and we really called out for his release. He was so sick he had to be even treated inside a police cell. They had to get an ambulance there to actually just give him some emergency support. He passed on yesterday, and let me tell you this, you cannot convince anyone in this Republic of Kenya that this regime is not responsible for the death of this doctor, that his health deteriorated right after that arrest. We don't know what they did to him. Na hakuna kitu mimi unaweza niambia, because I know very well whatever Anaconda touches, and especially people and voices that continue to oppose him, if it touches you like this, you shrivel, you shrink and die. Rest in peace. We are very sorry to the family of Dr. Obwaka, but we will not forget.
Stay with us, because what the autopsy reveals next could change this story forever. Today, we are diving deep into every detail of this case. We will explore the final hours of Dr. Obwaka's life, the 11-year relationship that nobody knew about, the forensic evidence that is currently being analyzed, and the court proceedings that have the entire medical community holding its breath. But that is not all. Wait until you see what happened next, because this case has layers that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about trust. Now, let me paint you the picture of that tragic Friday evening, May 1st of 2026. Dr. Job Obwaka was not just any doctor. He was a giant in the field of gynecology, a director at the Nairobi Hospital. That Friday, he told colleagues he was heading out for personal errands. Nothing unusual, nothing that would raise any red flags. He drove his black Mercedes-Benz to Kitengela, a rapidly growing town on the outskirts of Nairobi. His destination, the home of Beatrice Wangari. Now, here is what makes this absolutely chilling. According to Wangari's own testimony to investigators, she had been in a romantic relationship with Dr. Obwaka since 2015, and that is 11 years, that apparently nobody in his professional circle knew about. But it gets more intense. Wangari prepared a meal for the doctor, rice and meat, a simple home-cooked dinner. They ate together, they talked, everything seemed normal, everything seemed safe. Then came the glass of water. According to Wangari's statement to police, Dr. Obwaka took just 2 sips. Within minutes, something went horribly wrong. The 83-year-old doctor became drowsy. His breathing became labored. He struggled to catch his breath. Wangari watched as this medical expert, the man who had spent his entire life understanding the human body, began to lose control of his own. Panic set in. An ambulance was called by 7 p.m. Dr. Obwaka was being rushed to the Nairobi Hospital, the very institution where he served as a director. But here is the heartbreaking part. The medical personnel who received him, his own colleagues, could only confirm one devastating fact. He was dead on arrival. Now, what happened next is where this case transforms from a tragic medical emergency into a full-blown homicide investigation. Security officers at the Nairobi Hospital immediately filed a report. This wasn't a standard procedure for every death, but something about this situation demanded documentation. A prominent doctor, a sudden collapse, a mysterious companion. The Directorate of Criminal Investigations didn't waste time. By Saturday morning, May 2nd, less than 12 hours after Dr. Obwaka's death, detectives had already identified Beatrice Wangari as a person of interest. She was arrested that morning, but here is where the investigation takes a dramatic turn, and this is crucial. The DCI Homicide Department took over the case. Not the regular investigation unit, not a routine inquiry team, but the Homicide Department. Detectives descended on Wangari's Kitengela residence with forensic teams. The entire home was sealed off as a crime scene. Inside the house, investigators worked methodically. They collected the plates from which the couple had eaten. They seized the glass from which Dr. Obwaka had taken those fatal sips of water. They had photographed every corner of the dining area. They bagged and tagged documents. They confiscated mobile phones, and here is a detail that should make you sit up. They impounded Dr. Obwaka's black Mercedes-Benz for forensic examination. Now, why would they do that? What could a car possibly tell them about a man who allegedly died from something he consumed inside the house? The answer reveals the thoroughness of this investigation, and detectives are looking for everything. On May 4, 2026, just days after Dr. Obwaka's death, Beatrice Wangari stood before a judge at the Kibera Magistrate Court. The courtroom was tense. Journalists packed the gallery. Medical professionals from the Nairobi Hospital attended in solidarity with their fallen colleagues. The DCI presented their application. They needed 10 days to complete the investigation into what they now openly termed a suspected poisoning incident. The judge granted the request. Wangari would remain in police custody for 10 days while detectives raced against time to gather evidence. But here is where this case took an unexpected emotional turn. Through her legal team, Wangari made a stunning revelation. She told the court that she and the doctor had been in romantic relationship, not a business relationship and not a casual friendship. Let that sink in. An 83-year-old respected doctor and a 45-year-old woman had maintained a relationship for 11 years, apparently in complete secrecy from his professional world. What does that tell us? What were they hiding? Why the secrecy? Wangari's lawyers painted a picture of a woman devastated by loss. They described her as a companion who had stood by Dr. Obwaka through difficult times. They emphasized that she had cooperated fully with investigators, providing detailed statements about the final evening. But prosecutors were not buying the grieving partner narrative. They pointed to inconsistencies. They highlighted the suspicious timing. They emphasized the medical facts. A healthy man, despite his age, and underlying conditions doesn't just collapse and die within minutes of drinking water. The prosecution's theory, premeditated poisoning. And here is what makes this theory so compelling. The manner of death, drowsiness, followed by respiratory distress, that consistent with certain types of poisoning. Toxicologists know that specific substances can produce exactly that sequence of symptoms. Now, let me take you back a few weeks before the fateful Friday, because what happened in March 2026 may hold clues to this entire mystery. Dr. Job Obwaka was arrested. Just weeks before his death, this 83-year-old medical director was arrested over governance, disputes and allegations of record falsification at the Nairobi Hospital. The details are complex, involving hospital administration, financial irregularities, and internal conflicts. But here is what's critical to our story. Dr. Obwaka appeared at Milimani Law Courts to face these charges, and it was there in that courtroom that he collapsed. Witnesses describe a frail old man, stressed beyond measure, his health visibly deteriorating under the weight of legal pressure. Medical bodies, including the powerful Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Union, or KMPDU, publicly criticized the state's handling of the octogenarian physician. They argued that subjecting an 83-year-old to criminal proceedings and the stress of potential imprisonment was inhumane. Some observers noted that Dr. Obwaka's death came at a remarkably convenient time for certain parties involved in the hospital governance disputes. His removal from the equation will shift power dynamics considerably. Could Wangari have been a pawn in a larger scheme? Could she have been manipulated or paid to eliminate the doctor? Or was this purely a personal matter, a relationship gone wrong, ending in the oldest crime known to humanity? Now, here is what we know for certain. Dr. Obwaka's health has been declining since the March collapse. He has had underlying medical conditions. His age made him vulnerable. But the question that haunts this case is this: would he have died that particular Friday without intervention? The forensic team working on Dr. Obwaka's case faced a complex challenge. The items seized from Wangari's home became critical pieces of this puzzle: the plates from which they ate, the utensils they used, the cooking pots in her kitchen, and most importantly, the glass of water. Forensic toxicologists have access to incredibly sophisticated testing methods. They can detect minute quantities of substances. They can identify rare poisons. They can distinguish between naturally occurring compounds and synthetically introduced toxins. The autopsy, scheduled for May 5th, will involve multiple procedures: external examination to check for injection mark or other signs of foul play, internal examination of organs to assess their condition, collection of fluids and tissues for laboratory analysis. But here is what makes poisoning case particularly challenging. Some substances metabolize quickly. They break down in the body within hours, and if Dr. Obwaka was poisoned, and if the substance used was particularly sophisticated, it might have already degraded by the time samples were collected. Dr. Obwaka's black Mercedes was also under scrutiny, and the investigators were checking for several possibilities. Were there any substances in the vehicle? Had Wangari ridden with him? And if so, what could that tell the investigators about premeditation? The doctor's mobile phone records were also being analyzed. Who had communicated with him in these days before his death? Were there any threatening messages? Any unusual financial transaction? Wangari's phone told another part of the story. Had she researched poisons? Had she communicated with anyone about her plans? Or had she received payments from third parties? Now, the death of Dr. Job Obwaka has sent shockwaves through Kenya's medical community and beyond. Some saw Beatrice Wangari as a person who had targeted a vulnerable elderly man. They pointed to the age difference, the secrecy of the relationship, and the suspicious circumstances of death as evidence of a long-planned crime. Others urged caution, reminding the public that Wangari was innocent until proven guilty. They noted that the relationship between older men and younger women are common and don't automatically imply criminal intent. A third group focused on the broader context, the governance disputes, the March arrests, and the political dimensions of the case. As of making of this video, Beatrice Wangari remains in police custody. The 10-day detention period granted by the court gives investigators until May 14th to complete their probe. The autopsy results will be crucial. They will either confirm natural causes, vindicating Wangari and ending this nightmare for her, or they will reveal poison, transforming this case into one of Kenya's most shocking murder investigations. Dr. Job Obwaka's family awaits for answers. His colleagues mourn a giant in their field, and the entire nation watches to see whether justice will be served. Now, this case reminds us of uncomfortable truth, that death can come suddenly, that relationships can hide dark secrets, and that the line between natural causes and foul play can be terrifyingly thin. What do you think happened in that Kitengela home? Was this a tragic medical emergency or a calculated murder? Drop your theories in the comments below, and if you want to stay updated on this developing story, make sure you are subscribed with the notification turned on, because as soon as those autopsy results are released, we will be breaking down every detail. The truth about Dr. Obwaka's final moments is coming. The question is, are we ready for what it might reveal? Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and remember, sometimes the most shocking mysteries are hiding in plain sight.